Good morning, and welcome to AI Daily for Friday, July 17th, 2026. Here is your top story. It came out of China, and it did not come quietly. Moonshot AI has launched Kimi K3, a 2.5 trillion parameter flagship that early testers say trades blows with the very best from OpenAI and Anthropic, on coding, on vision, on a full million tokens of context. For a model born outside Silicon Valley, that is a statement. We will unpack exactly what K3 claims and where those claims still need proof. But first, the rest of today's headlines. Let's start with the headline in full. Yesterday, China's Moonshot AI launched Kimi K3, its new flagship large language model. The numbers are big, a mixture of experts' design with roughly 2.5 trillion total parameters, a native context window reported at 1 million plus tokens, and multimodal input across text, images, and audio. On capability, the picture is genuinely competitive. Reporting from BigGo and TechCrunch places K3's overall quality between OpenAI's GPT-5.6 and Anthropic's Fable 5, with visual understanding that testers rate above Fable 5. On certain coding benchmarks, K3 is said to edge out both GPT 5.5 and Opus 4.8, and Moonshot reports a 91.2% score on the BrowseComp web agent test in a single-agent setup. Now the honest caveat. Many of these comparisons come from leaks and user tests on social media, not from a full technical report. Moonshot has not yet published complete specs or pricing. But even discounted, the signal is loud. The frontier is no longer a two-country race. And Kimi K3 is not the only newcomer flying the open flag. Days earlier, a German research consortium coordinated by the country's AI Association, with Fraunhofer Institutes, the DFKI, and several universities, released SOPHI S, an open-weights model. It is a 30 billion parameter hybrid Mamba transformer that activates only 3.2 billion parameters per token, which keeps it efficient over long contexts. The team reports it leads all fully open models on aggregate English and German scores, with 73.8% on human eval for code, and it was trained on Deutsche Telekom's Munich cloud using about 253,000 GPU hours. It is a smaller story than K3, but it points the same direction. Capable open models are arriving from more places than ever, and the gap to the closed frontier keeps narrowing. To the companies, and the money is following the models, especially in China. This week, Alibaba led a new tranche in AI video startup Eosphere, the parent of Pixverse, pushing its Series C to 2.98 billion yuan, or about $439 million, at a valuation topping 2 billion. According to Caixin, the round drew more than 10 institutions, and it is part of a scramble among Chinese tech giants to back interactive world models and video generation. Pixverse says it now has over 150 million registered users across nearly 180 countries. Meanwhile, in the U.S., drug discovery lab Chai Discovery closed a $400 million Series C, led by Index Ventures, Kleiner Perkins, and Sequoia, with OpenAI among the co-investors. Two very different bets, video and biology, but the same message. Even amid bubble talk, capital is still pouring into the applied edge of AI. On products, one of Google's quiet favorites just grew up. NotebookLM, the research and note-taking assistant, is being rebranded to Gemini Notebook, and it is getting real new muscle. The headline feature is a secure cloud computer that lets the tool write and execute code natively for data analysis, so it can go from summarizing your sources to actually crunching them. Google is also weaving it deeper into its ecosystem, with cross-app syncing between the standalone notebook and the Gemini app, and integration coming to Gemini and Google Search. The code execution feature is live now for AI Ultra and Select Workspace users, and Google says it will roll out to all pro users on the web over the coming weeks. It is a small rename with a big hint. Your notebook is quietly turning into an analyst. On policy, a striking split has opened up between the two biggest American labs over how AI should be governed. According to The Hill, Anthropic has become the first AI company to endorse California's new state safety bill, SB 1053, and its state relations lead says it actively wants successive state bills to add tougher duties, a deliberate strategy of ratcheting up guardrails, state by state. Anthropic says it does not want Congress to preempt those state laws unless federal rules are at least as strong. OpenAI is pulling the other way. It is pushing for a single national framework and federal preemption, with a policy chief describing the goal as a de facto national standard assembled from a handful of major bills. Same industry, opposite theories of regulation, one betting on many strong state laws, the other on one unified federal floor. How that fight resolves will shape what every model maker can and cannot do. Now the markets, facts only, and nothing here is investment advice. It was a rough session for the AI trade. On Thursday's U.S. close, the chip and infrastructure names led the way down. The semiconductor ETF, tracked by SOXX, fell about 4.5%. AMD dropped more than 5%, Broadcom about 5%, and CoreWeave around 5.5%. NVIDIA slid roughly 2.5% to about $207, and TSMC eased a similar amount. Among the megacaps, Alphabet fell about 4.5%, and Meta around 2.5%. Not everything was red. Microsoft actually rose over 1%, and Palantir edged up. The backdrop is the same tension we have tracked all month. Worries about whether AI infrastructure has been overbuilt, now sharpened by the arrival of powerful, cheaper challengers like Kimi K3 pressing on everyone's pricing power. We report the moves. We do not predict the next one. Finally, what to watch? First, the Kimi K3 fine print. Moonshot still owes the world a full technical report and official pricing. Once those land, we will finally be able to check the leaks against real numbers. Second, keep an eye on Google, where reports say the team scrapped its Gemini 3.5 Pro base model and rebuilt it from scratch, with a launch still expected this month. And third, watch Sacramento and Washington. With Anthropic and OpenAI now openly split, the next state bill or federal move could tip the balance of AI regulation for years. That is your AI Daily. That's your AI Daily for July 17th. A new flagship from China rewriting the leaderboard, capital still chasing the applied edge, and America's top labs split over who gets to write the rules. Subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow, same time, every morning.